business transaction or listing that they're doing right now?
Yes, I do. I have a business listing with the real estate right now. It's in San Jose downtown, and it's in escrow right now. And we are waiting for the insurance working before the bank can disclose, can fund the money.
So it's in escrow. That's good news. That takes a while. How long did it take you to get to that escrow point, Diane?
Since I list until now, it's about 4 months.
What kind of business is it?
A nightclub. It's
a nightclub. Okay. And the buyer for the nightclub, is it another, do they own nightclubs already?
Yes, he did. He owned another nightclub in different area. But that's one less than a year.
Okay. So did you use conventional financing? You said a bank. You have an escrow on your, or the fan, maybe that you didn't say a bank, the financing.
That's the SBA loan. This is an SBA loan.
And how's that process been, the SBA process for you, Diane?
Yeah, that's correct. They're asking a lot of documents from the buyer and the seller. Luckily, they provide them own, except for the insurance right now. We still working with the buyer insurance for the worker comp. It's very difficult to get the insurance company.
So the insurance has been a problem.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so I think when people get into business brokering, they don't realize how complicated a business transaction is. Diane, so you just brought up something about insurance, which we don't really think about that often. How about the leases? Was there anything on the real estate or the leases that came up that was a problem?
No, the lease, we do not have the problem because the transaction including the real estate and the buyer is also the landlord, or the seller is also the landlord. So we don't have to deal with that.
When you said the buyer is the landlord, what do you?
What I mean is when the buyer take over the real estate, he himself a landlord.
I got you. So did they have to raise the rent or did they keep it the same?
No, he doesn't raise the rent. He keep it the same. He keep it the same.
And how long?
He pay himself because he's gonna take over the nightclub. He take over the real estate. Therefore, he pay himself the rent.
How long is the lease?
It's 5 years with the 5-year option.
Okay, all right. So everyone heard that. That's something that people forget when they're in business brokering. That's very, very important. If it's real estate dependent, if it's a business that needs a location and a warehouse, let's say, or something.
I'm sorry, may I ask you a question?
You can ask.
Yes. I'm going to have a listing, but the new listing is only the commercial. I never list a commercial. I would like to ask you, you are going to use the California real estate for the commercial, or are you going to use the different form?
Ellen, are you listening to this? Ellen was supposed to co-host, and I think he's busy with another meeting. Alan's the real estate expert here, and he's the JD like Tanya is. So if I answer this, it's only my opinion, which doesn't hold any weight at all, Diane. So I'm guessing there are forms in California, and Washington has certain forms. You have a state director. You need to ask them. You need to go to them and ask them which forms to use. I can't really give you advice in California.
Diane,
Yes.
hi. I had the same issue come up in one of my business operations transactions, and the landlord, and when I went to negotiate the lease for my buyer, he said, I might be interested in selling the property too. And so my broker gave me the car forms.
Yes.
So is that what you're asking? This in what
yes,
form?
yes,
Yeah, I
yes.
had the same questions, like what form do I use? It's the car, I think it's the car forms.
So
See,
someone mentioned me, I should use the air.
oh,
CRA.
you get the forms from Air. Air gives you all the forms. So if
That's
you
different. That's different than the car form. That's why I a little bit confused. I don't know which one should I use.
Oh, I thought Air Commercial just gives you access to all the forms.
But the form are different than the car form. The different. It's not the same. If you
It's
take
not the same. Okay, well, I haven't subscribed to Air yet. I'm supposed to, but
yeah, me neither. That's why I asked.
Alan, do you have an input on that?
I didn't hear the beginning of the question, but it sounds like this is the California Association of Realtors. Is that what CAR is?
Yes.
And there's the AIR forms. And if I had to choose between them, I would use the California forms, because the AIR forms are national forms that have not been fully meshed with state laws, in my experience, but they are getting better every day. I would ask this question to your designated broker, because they should have a clear sense of what's common practice in that state. Are you in California?
Yes, I am.
Well, Tanya would be a great person to ask this question too when she's available. I would start probably with her by email and just ask her that question, because she has dealt with this before, I'm sure, in California.